Morgan Park Academy. Every graduating class leaves behind memories and traditions. This class has done something especially meaningful, that they've helped launch new ideas, new programs, new opportunities that will continue to influence students for years to come. This year we saw the beginning of several exciting upper school initiatives, and our seniors were instrumental in bringing each one of those to life. Through BPA, students helped establish the Coffee Corner. That was an idea that has been rooted in entrepreneurship and also in community building and school spirit. What began as a student-led initiative quickly became something even more meaningful. A portion of the revenue is directly supporting our new chicken coop and flock of chickens, creating hands-on learning opportunities and a lasting addition to campus life. It is such a fitting example of this class, creative, collaborative, and willing to turn ideas into realities. I'd like to recognize the following seniors who played a vital role in BPA. They are Daniel Adams, Crystal Green, Ava Malzone, Varun Kaluri, and Eden Redmond. Also, Ms. Carey for all her work with that, overseeing them as well. This class was also part of a new mentoring program called Ignite. Through connections with alumni from across the nation, students have received unparalleled advice, wisdom, encouragement, and guidance about college, careers, leadership, and life itself. These relationships have reminded us that the entire Morgan Park community extends far beyond our campus walls. And it was this senior class that embraced the opportunity first, helping establish a culture of mentorship that future students will continue to benefit from. At this point, I'd like to recognize our Ignite members and invite them to come forward to receive their cords. Mrs. Strawn will be giving you your cords. Daniel Adams. Crystal Green. Asha Hawkins. Marcus Hayes Jr. Cameron Joyner. Ava Malzone. Kadria Muhammad. Eden Redmond. And Chloe Underwood.
Look right here. This is one of 1,000 pictures we'll do today. Good smile. One more. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Congratulations, everybody. In addition, this year marked the founding of our Tri-M Music Honor Society, recognizing students whose passion, dedication, and aptitude for the performing arts deserves to be celebrated. The arts are often the heartbeat of a school community, and these seniors helped ensure that the student musicians and performers are honored not only for their talent, but also for their leadership, commitment, and creativity. Seniors who are in Tri-M include Asha Hawkins, Kelly Jenkins, Grant Ring, and Lily Van Dyke. What makes all of this even more impressive is that these initiatives were not created in place of everything else our seniors are already doing. They balanced academics, athletics, performances, service, leadership, positions, competitions, clubs, and countless commitments, and still found the time and energy to help build something new for those who will follow them. Congratulations, seniors, for that. That is truly an example of leadership. That is not simply holding a title. Leadership is seeing possibilities where something does not exist. It is taking ownership, it is building community, it's creating opportunities that others will someday benefit from, even after you have moved on from Morgan Park Academy. You have set the tone for future generations. That is exactly what this class has done to the class of 2026. Thank you for your willingness to lead, to innovate, and to invest in your school community. Thank you for saying yes to new ideas. Thank you for helping transform plans into programs and visions into realities. You leave behind more than accomplishments. You leave behind momentum. As you move forward into colleges, careers, service opportunities, and new adventures, I hope you'll continue to carry on with you the same spirit you demonstrated here. The courage to start something new, the confidence to lead, and understanding that meaningful change often means and begins with students willing to step forward and say, let's try. We are incredibly proud of each and every one of you. We're deeply grateful for you and excited to see what you'll accomplish next. Congratulations to the class of 2024. And this brings us to some of our awards for today. The first one is chosen by the faculty, and this is the most unforgettable member of the graduating class. We'll talk about a little bit about Mr. V. Thank you for putting this together and getting everybody's feedback on this. When we talk about that, we'll never forget. Some students are remembered for a single moment. It could be a performance, a speech, a game, a class. A conversation that starts with you, stays with you longer than expected. But every so often there's a student who becomes memorable in a much larger way. Not because they are trying to be remembered, not because they are forcing attention, but because over time their presence becomes part of the rhythm of the school itself. They become part of the stories teachers tell each other, part of the laughter in a classroom, part of the energy in a club, part of the structure behind student council, part of the life on the stage, part of those strange specific moments that no one could have planned but everyone somehow remembers. And if there is one student whose presence becomes woven into life, memory, and personality of this school, one student who truly embodies what it means to be unforgettable, that person is Grant Ring. Grant, hold on, we're not done yet. I want to sit, I will not, this will not be a State of the Union speech, but close. Dr. Farrell's got the stopwatch running on. With Grant, the evidence comes from every single corner. These are teacher anecdotes. Mr. Ellis, Grant was described as a mainstay in the Arts Center, someone who was always an easy conversation, easygoing personality, a brilliant mind, and perspectives shaped by the places he has been and the things he pays attention to. Mr. Ellis also spoke about Grant's thoughtfulness, especially the way Grant would talk through gifts for his family. Beneath the big personality, is a considerate person who genuinely presents with people. From Miss Carey, Grant was remembered for always having good answers during the New York Times quizzes, also for his real devotion to Dr. Pepper, and for eating what seemed to be a full breakfast during Thursday morning AP Lit, especially the yogurt. She remembers his leadership in student council, the success of the bonfire nights, and in Panama, his gallant attempt to help others back into our small tour boat with no ladder, while showing admirable restraint as Miss Carey gave what she described as her best impression of a sea lion climbing onto rocks. Of course, is there video for that, Grant? Of course, we cannot talk about Grant without talking about Dr. Pepper. Every variety, every flavor, every possible form. His car is literally the Dr. Pepper mobile, complete with a Grant Dr. Pepper logo on the side. It is hard to imagine anyone in the school who does not know this about him. If Dr. Pepper ever needs an ambassador, the interview process may already be over. From Mr. Villanueva, Grant became part of a video game club history when Josh, the previous club leader, knighted him with the controller. That feels exactly right. This is the same Grant who could loudly act out Gru saying, "Tonight we steal the moon," and somehow get a group of students to respond like minions in front of it. It was ridiculous, but it was also very Grant. It creates moments that people remember. From Miss McAllister, perhaps the best example of Grant became the school folklore with a great student council outdoor movie night. Grant brought his laptop to run the event. The movie ended, cleanup began, and somewhere between the popcorn and the extension cords, the laptop disappeared.
It's been found.
I'm glad to hear that. Some mysteries are never solved. It has been solved, Mrs. McAllister. We're glad to hear that you did not lose this, the student council constitution with that, however. The funny part is the missing laptop, which we now, oh boy, this is all outdated now. The most serious part is that Grant spent hours helping rewrite the student council constitution. That is not glamorous work. Most people do not want to spend July reading through old bylaws, trying to make committee structures make sense. Grant did it because he cared about making student council better. He took pride in reorganizing it, improving it, and making sure it actually reflected what students were trying to do. That same presence showed up in theater from Mr. Savarli. Grant's leadership was visible early. You remembered seeing Grant as the lion in the Wiz freshman year and already knowing that Grant would become a major presence in the theater program. Ms. McAllister saw that same presence continue through roles like William Barfay in the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, Charlemagne and Pippin in The Baker Into the Woods. She especially remembers Grant as Barfay singing through the Magic Foot dance while fighting for his life, trying to keep his balance on stage. From her perspective, it felt like watching a high wire act, and somehow Grant held it together and pulled it off. That is a very specific kind of stage presence. Funny, tense, impressive, slightly chaotic, and completely committed. Mr. Savarli also noted Grant's leadership in the official MPA Super Smash Brothers tournaments, where Grant was not alone in making those events happen, but where his initiative and seriousness were always clear. While Grant has his humor is real, the personality is real, but so is the commitment. He follows through, he shows up to help build those things and to the other people to make sure they enjoy those events as well. We're getting close, Grant. We're getting close. Hang on. All right. From Mr. Villanueva, who's also known Grant since freshman year in biology, what stands out most is how Grant has grown into losing the parts of himself that made him memorable in the first place. He went from a goofy, intelligent, video game loving kid into someone more grounded, well-spoken, and serious about ideas. He wants to understand things. He wants to get to the bottom of arguments, systems, politics, law, logic, and even, apparently, how many holes a straw has. Grant, you're unforgettable because you're completely yourself, but more than that, because you have made that self part of the school's memory. You show up, you follow through, you make people laugh, you also ask real questions. You care about the things you're a part of, and because of that, you leave them better than you found them. Years from now, people may not remember every meeting, every performance, every tournament, or every strange debate that somehow becomes serious, but they will remember the energy you brought to those moments. They'll remember the stories, they'll remember the way you made this place feel more alive. Grant, we'll never forget you. Congratulations. Now.
Good.
Our next award is the Drown Family and Character Award, providing support for a deserving graduating senior, student, and honors one graduate who embodies the Academy tradition of excellence that spans for more than 150 years. And I have not been here for 150 years. Contrary to rumors, it's only 39. So don't ask me about 150 years ago, Dr. Farrell. Sorry. All right. The award is to be used at the discretion of the new MPA alum awardee to enrich their college experience. This year's winner is Lavinia Liang.
Good.
The Mario Ortiz Make a Difference Scholarship, beginning in 2023, a $1,000 scholarship has been awarded to a promising graduating senior of Morgan Park Academy who demonstrates outstanding dedication to community service and leadership. The applicant must be pursuing post-secondary education. Mario Ortiz was the father of 5 children, all of whom attended Morgan Park Academy since 2000. Mario coached MPA baseball and assisted with fundraising efforts on campus. His mission in life was to make a difference in his family and community as a coach, leader, mentor, father, and husband. Through his determination and hard work, Mario pursued and implemented any vision he had. His contagious smile, dedication, and persistence in every organization he was a part of impacted everyone he encountered. The scholarship aims to honor the memory of the man whose mere presence brought about a positive impact wherever he went. This year's winner being presented by Gloria and Anthony. And Oregon. I had to mention Anthony. This year's winner is Annabella Arbalos.
Sneaking up on you. Okay, look right here. One more. Good, thanks.
Stay right here. All right, the Marquette Bank Education Foundation Scholarship is an award in honor to a member of the senior class, and this year's winner is also Annabella Arbalos. All right, at this time, we're going to recognize the lifers who have been here from all the way, either from pre-K, K, or starting in first grade through 12th grade. Mrs. Drown will present you with your lifer certificates. So come on up, Jasmine King. Baru Kalori. Justin Tyson. And Lilith Van Dyke.
Good smile. One more. Good, thank you.
All right, next we have a senior speech from Jasmine King.
Good morning to you all. Transformation would be my choice if I had to sum up the class of 2026 in one word. And not the adorable, flawless kind you see in movies. No, I'm referring to the authentic kind. The kind where you're developing, worrying, rebuilding, laughing, freaking out, succeeding, making mistakes, getting back up, and waking up the following day and saying, yep, I'm still here. There were many unexpected twists this year, but really I wouldn't change a single one. Every high, every low, every I'm so tired of this moment, and every victory helped us mold into the people we are today. Stronger, closer, and prepared for whatever comes next. Our senior retreat is one of the clearest examples of who we are as a senior class. Because we thought it would be a peaceful, calm little excursion when they told us we were going to IHOP and an arcade. We were wrong. The class of 2026 is not a quiet group. IHOP became an entire comedy show. People were talking loudly, making jokes, swapping pancakes, and recording videos like we were recording a reality TV show. It was chaotic, but in a good way. The kind of way that makes you appreciate your class. Everything really took off when we arrived at Hollywood Park. That day, it made no difference which friend group you belonged to, who you typically spoke with, or who you walked with in the hallways of classes. All of a sudden, we were all gathered together as if we were at a large family reunion. Whether you were at the air hockey table with people you had hardly spoken to all year and were suddenly making alliances so you would win, or at the go-kart track racing against one another, driving like we were in a Fast and Furious movie. And at the end of it, everyone was running around showing off the little plastic prizes they might have pulled from a claw machine or something they won with all the tickets we got. Like we had real diamond necklaces around our necks. What's even better, we were helping each other win. If someone didn't know how to win a game, somebody in the class stepped in, willing to help. We were simply just there, laughing at each other's losses and celebrating each other's wins. No judgment, no stress, just pure fun. That day demonstrated our true nature as a supportive class. A class that shares laughter, a class that's genuinely better when we're together. And really no project, test, or class could have brought us closer than that retreat. But this year wasn't just about the good times. Assignments humbled us. On certain days, we doubted our decisions, or we arrived to class exhausted, stressed, or confused. There were days when everything seemed to be happening at once, but we persisted. Despite everything we gained in knowledge, we developed, we made it through, and we came out stronger. So here are 3 things that I want to share with the class of 2026 that I've learned over the years being small. Use your mistakes as motivation. This year, we all made mistakes, whether it was forgetting something crucial, procrastinating, missing deadlines, or underestimating an exam. However, this didn't stop us. You're not weak because of your mistakes, they make you real. They also improve you if you learn from them. Second, if something in your life needs improving, start now. Your routines, your mindsets, your grades, how will you manage your time, fix it right away, whatever it is. Change doesn't occur overnight. When you truly put in an effort, it occurs after you take one step at a time and just keep going. Start organizations, have a vision, ask for help, but don't forget to live your life. Yes, school does matter, your future does matter, however, your happiness also matters. Laugh, create memories, take a break, make friends, and please do not compare your journey with anyone else's. Everyone has a different path, which is perfectly fine. If this year has taught the class of 2026 anything, it's that perfection isn't what we're shooting for, growth is. It's being someone who you are meant to be and being there for yourself, and that also helps the people around you. Class of 2026, look at us. We transformed, we pushed through, we became stronger, braver, and more confident, and we accomplished this together. To all my classmates, thank you. Thank you for the chaos. Thank you for the laughs until we couldn't breathe and our stomachs hurt. Thank you for the support, the surprises, the lessons, and the love. Thank you for making this year our year, an unforgettable year in every wonderful way. Congratulations, class of 2026. We did it, and we did it our own way and made it ours.
All right, thank you very much. At this point, I'm going to have introduce our Vice President of Advancement in Communications, Christy Kotek.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So one of the great privileges of my role is supporting and engaging MPA's alumni community. So seniors, your upcoming commencement marks an important milestone, not only because you will receive your diploma, but because you will officially join the community of MPA alumni. You're becoming a part of a global network of thousands of alumni whose lives and careers have been shaped by this school over the past 153 years. Across industries, cities, communities, MPA alumni continue to lead, serve, create, and make a meaningful impact. So very soon, you're going to be a part of that story as well. One of the special aspects of the MPA alumni community is the way generations of graduates continue to support one another long after graduation. Alumni open doors for each other, offer guidance, create connections, and remain invested in the success of fellow warriors. It is a community rooted not only in the shared experiences you've had, but in a lasting commitment to one another. I spoke with an alumni last week. He graduated in 2007, and he told me he was coming home to Chicago, and he was going to a wedding where 15 other MPA alumni were gonna be there. I'm telling y'all, look around, because you might be going to the East Coast or to the West Coast or staying in Chicago, but the people around you, if history repeats itself, and I see that it has within our alumni community, many of the folks in this room are gonna remain in your lives. So that spirit of the alumni connection was especially visible this year through our inaugural Ignite Mentoring program that Mr. Halsell mentioned. So as you begin this next chapter, I encourage you to stay connected to one another, come back to homecoming, September 12th, attend alumni events, mentor future students, most importantly, continue building the kind of community that makes MPA such a special place. So congratulations, class of 26. We're so excited for you and what lies ahead, and really honored to welcome you to the alumni community. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, an MPA alumnus and an MPA parent as well, Erica Enright Toohey from the class of 99. I want to share a little bit about Erica. She is an architect, educator, and Morgan Park Academy alum, as I mentioned, who has spent the last 2 decades building things that last, both in the physical world and in people. Her architectural work across the Midwest has ranged from transforming a hospital wing in one of the nation's first outpatient bone marrow transplant clinics to shaping a 230,000 square foot student center that unified 3 buildings into one, to bespoke residence for clients building their forever home. Across each project, she's focused on solving complex problems with clarity, creativity, and care. Alongside her design work, Erica has built a parallel path in education that began early in her career working with children on the autism spectrum, where she developed a deep understanding of individualized learning, communication, and the importance of meeting students where they are. She has since developed and taught architectural courses at Lewis and Clark Community College, helping students moving towards programs at the University of Illinois and Southern Illinois University, and has led design-based learning experiences for young people through arts organizations and community programs. Her work centers on using design thinking to help students see themselves as capable of shaping the world around them. As an alumna, parent, and active member of the MPA community, Erica remains deeply invested in this school and its future, and her commitment to ensuring that what students begin here continues long after graduation. Erica was also the recipient of the Thomas Malcolm Award this year, which is a prestigious honor that recognizes an MPA parent and an alum whose dedication, service, and generosity made a tremendous impact on our school community. Erica is just an amazing human alongside everything she has accomplished. We're so happy to have her as a part of our community and as our keynote speaker this morning. So please help me welcome Erica to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Excellent. You know, just to kind of segue off this, it's funny when you come back as an alum, because you feel like I'm going to return and I'm going to feel like an adult, and that doesn't always happen. I still kind of get nervous when the head of school talks to me like I'm going to get in trouble, and whenever I see Dro, I'm like, please don't give me a quiz on current events, because I haven't kept up as well as I should have. So, but thank you for having me. I guess I will begin. So, when I was asked to speak today, I started thinking about mottos. Schools love mottos. And honestly, after spending the last year working in the archives at Morgan Park Academy, I can confirm we have quite a few. But if I'm being honest, the most important motto may actually be the simplest one. Be kind and do your best, which is excellent life advice, even if it does skew slightly toward the lower school crowd. Still, while digging through catalogs, photographs, handwritten notes, yearbooks, and decades of school materials, I started noticing something fascinating. The language changed, the uniforms changed, the programs changed, the structure of the school changed. But certain ideas kept repeating themselves over and over again. Honor, service, community, and character. Every era of the school seemed to be asking the same question. What kind of human being are we trying to help build here? One line from the 1920 to 21 catalog especially stayed with me. Under the heading Purpose and Preparedness for Life, the school described its mission this way. Morgan Park aims to graduate its cadets thoroughly prepared in body, mind, and character, ready for college, business, or any form of the world's work. And honestly, over a century later, and think about that, over a century later, this still feels remarkably familiar. Today, our mission is described as Morgan Park Academy engages the whole child, inspires the independent learner, prepares the global leader of tomorrow to make a positive difference in the world. Different century, different language, same heartbeat. we are still talking about whole people. Still talking about inward character and outward service. Still trying to prepare young people not just for careers, but for lives of meaning. And I think there's something deeply comforting about that continuity. Because the world changes constantly. Technology changes, culture changes, expectations change. The archives make that very clear. In fact, some of the old photos look like scenes from another planet. But the core hope remains the same, that you leave this place thoughtful, capable, curious, and kind, prepared to contribute something meaningful to the world around you. So in true architect and archives enthusiast fashion, I decided to make up a new model for you all. Entirely unofficial, entirely unnecessary, but fun because it's in Latin. And I apologize for my pronunciation. Latin is not my native language. Discere libere, service honorifice, ducere fortiter. To learn freely, to serve honorably, to lead boldly. And honestly, I think that's a pretty good description of Morgan Park Academy. Because learning freely means being curious long after grades stop mattering. Serving honorably means understanding that success is not only about what you achieve, but how you treat people along the way. And leading boldly does not always mean being loud. Sometimes it simply means having the courage to continue showing up with integrity, kindness, and purpose. There's a concept I love which feels very connected to the alumni chapter you're about to enter, called vicarious appreciation. It's the idea that eventually you will learn to appreciate something not only for what it gave you, but what it made possible for others too. Alumni life is really the process of moving from personal appreciation to collective responsibility. You begin to understand that institutions survive because generations keep investing in them. Someone planted trees whose shade they would never fully sit beneath. Someone repaired buildings they would never use. Someone gave time, money, mentorship, care, and courage so this place could still exist when you arrive. Of course, when you're younger, being an alum sounds much more glamorous. You imagine cocktail parties and networking, maybe someday your name on a donor wall in a tasteful font. But the real work of being an alum is much simpler. It's staying connected to something bigger than yourself. It's understanding that the students coming after you deserve opportunities too. It's realizing that institutions do not magically continue existing. People carry them forward, quietly, repeatedly, over time. And honestly, I think your generation understands this earlier than most. You are entering adulthood at a moment when many institutions feel fragile. Schools, communities, public trust, even the idea of connection itself sometimes feels strained. Which means your generation may understand sooner than others that meaningful places do not sustain themselves automatically. Healthy systems, schools, neighborhoods, families, friendships, all survive because people actively care for them. Because people continue showing up, quietly, repeatedly, over time. Sometimes with varying levels of confidence, but what matters is whether you continue showing up anyway. That's character in action. Not having all the answers, not being perfect, just showing up with integrity, helping where you can, building things that make life better for other people. That counts. In my own life, some of the most meaningful work I've done has not been the biggest project or the one with the most of a budget or the one with the most awards. It's been helping create spaces where people feel seen. It's helping schools imagine a future, and it's helping students discover they are capable of more than they thought. That's service. And service is very rarely dramatic in real life. Most of the time it looks like maintenance of buildings, relationships, traditions, and communities. But usually it looks like answering emails, moving tables, reviewing budgets, and checking on someone, preparing something before it collapses, staying late, and coming back, especially coming back. That's what I hope you remember about Morgan Park Academy. That is not a place you leave today. It is a place you can return to. When your life gets complicated, when you want perspective, when you want to help, when you want your children to stand where you came from. I practiced this a lot, and I thought I'd gotten over the emotional part, but hearing all of you talk today kind of brought it back up. When you simply need to remember an earlier version of yourself, this school belongs to you now in a different way. Not ownership in the legal sense, please do not start making resource allocation decisions on your way out today. But it now belongs to you in the stewardship sense. You are now part of a long line of people responsible for carrying the story forward. So, go build meaningful lives. Become architects, nurses, teachers, artists, entrepreneurs, electricians, advocates, and community leaders. Build things that make life better for other people. And wherever life takes you, remember this. The healthiest communities survive because generations continue caring for them. Now, in some very real way, that responsibility belongs to you too. Congratulations, class of 2026. Go do something wonderful and eventually come back and tell us about it.